Today is the day that we start making the intercooler end tanks. I'll be honest, I've been dreading this, I've been putting it off, I've been trying to find other jobs to do, but we're gonna have to tackle it at some point, and no better time than now, I guess. The reason I'm dreading it is because aluminium welding is really hard to get right, as you can see from these bits that I did down here that were horrific. And like, this intercooler was very expensive, took a long time to be made. If I fuck this up, it's going to be a very big mistake. I mean, it's already a bit of a mistake that I sized it slightly wrong and that we've got like really tight constraints to work with, but whatever, that's something that we think we've kind of got figured out now. But actually making the end tanks is going to be interesting. So yeah, I'm going to go do a little bit of quick practice just on some random scraps before I touch this, and then we'll crack on with it. Alright guys, this is going absolutely terribly. I know I always say that, but this really is. Like, I can't believe how hard this is. It's really pissing me off, to be honest. Because like, I practice on some scrap metal and it goes absolutely fine. And as soon as I touch this thing, it just goes to shit so quickly. Now, quite a few of my friends have said I should probably just take it to somewhere that knows what they're doing with aluminium welding and get them to do it. But I'm trying to do everything myself, and I've done aluminium welding okay before. Like, that's the problem. If I'd never done it and I'd tried this, I'd be like, yeah, fuck this is too hard. But I made the whole GT86 washer bottle out of aluminium, welded it all. And like, it wasn't perfect by any means, but it was a hell of a lot better than this. Yeah, let's carry on with this mess. Fucking hell. I don't know what makes it go shit. It was going okay for a bit and then it just goes all shit. It's as if it's not clean or as if there's no gas. Like, I did find there's a slight leak in the torch. I've ordered a new torch, but I don't think that's enough for the problems I'm having. Kill me. Fucking kill me. At this point we're just going for, as long as it's airtight, who gives a fuck. It's times like this when I wish I didn't make YouTube videos, because normally no one would ever see this. Like, it would be hidden behind the bumper, no one would ever see it except me. But now, a couple of thousand people on the internet are going to see it and laugh at it, but whatever. Still think it's better than just getting someone else to do it, alright? That's what I'm clinging on to, that's what I'm telling myself. It's better than just paying somebody to do it for you. I mean, the end result isn't better, but it's better knowing that you've done it all yourself. Apart from when it breaks and then you've got no one else to blame except yourself. So this is what we've got so far. Obviously I've still got to make the top, and then we're going to have it sort of curve around here a bit because we haven't got a lot of room as usual. And yeah, went pretty horrifically, like I said. Welds are not even in any way because this little tab bit just kept sort of melting back, so I had to keep dumping loads of filler rod. It looks like I just couldn't keep the torch steady and it's kind of gone all over the place, but it was just trying to actually keep up with how quickly it was melting, and like, it was just a nightmare. So I think what we're going to do is wait for the new welding torch to turn up, because I don't want to blame my tools, but I think that's definitely not helping, having gas leaking out. So yeah, we're gonna sack this off for a bit because it's pissing me off how badly it's going. And we'll find something else to do. Right, change of plan. I was going to do the power steering stuff, but this turned up today. The new welding torch that does not leak. And oh my god, it's so much easier. I told you it went badly. This is the mess that I made with the other one, right? And it was going so badly and it was so difficult. I was like, for fuck's sake, why is this so hard? And yeah, this is what I've done to try and cover it up. It's not perfect, and I had to run 2 beads because the mess I made was so wide, but yeah, far from perfect, but so much better when you compare it to that. You know what I mean? Like, just literally all I've changed is the torch. So yeah, again, this is not perfect. I'm not saying, oh look, best welds ever, but Jesus Christ, compare that to that. So yeah, we're going to carry on. Like, I'm tempted to just cut my losses and just like cut this off, start again. But it took a lot of time to measure and cut all this out and weld it on. So it's like, if we can make it look like that, it's not the end of the world, is it? It's a bit weird having 2 beads running across there, but again, no one's really going to see it. So yeah, I'm tempted to just cover this up in the same way. So yeah, my strategy is to just like run 1 bead along the bottom and then another one along the top, just kind of join it together. Like I say, it's not ideal, but we've got to work with the mess that we created the other day. done. Again, pretty happy with that. It's so much easier. I can't explain how happy I am that it wasn't just me being an absolute dickhead and forgetting how to weld. Right, I've just covered up the other side that was a complete mess. Done a bit of a better job, I think. Like, it's just all one bead on this side. I just made it a really fat bead. It's not perfect, as usual. It should be my catchphrase, and I've not bothered with this very end bit because I'm going to have some more welding to do on this face in a minute anyway, so tidy that up then. But yeah, it's okay. Like, some bits could be better, but it's okay for the most part. Definitely a lot better than the mess that was there before, so I'll take it. So I've just finished putting together this top piece, well, cutting it out at least. Now we've got to weld it together. Just made a quick start there just to get the corners done. I've got to weld all the way down here. So give it a go. Stop and make sure we're actually, so I can only see the top side really when I'm doing that. Make sure we're actually getting into this bottom side, or right side, whatever way around you want to call it. I think we're good. I think we're good. Pause there because my hand is getting fucking boiling hot. Jesus Christ. It's looking neat though. Looking tidy. Okay, not quite as good as I first thought, but it's looking okay. Right, the battery on the other camera just died, so you're gonna have to settle for some GoPro shots. Yeah, we just got this other half to do, and then we're on to the other side. It's going okay. Let me show you. Can you see that? I don't know if you can see that at all. Probably not. It's probably not focused because GoPros are shit, but you get the idea. We're doing okay, I think. I think we're doing okay. As usual, we're just going to leave the very end so we can wrap around it later. But yeah, that is done. We will clean it up and polish it and everything when it's all done, but you get the idea. Half decent bead all the way across. So with the intercooler on the car, this is what it looks like. Like I say, the welds at the top went okay. The ones at the bottom were terrible because that was just fixing the problems that we had before. But yeah, the ones at the top look nice enough. What we've got to do now though is make the section that's going to come out of here and go through there. Originally that was going to be like a silicone coupler that was going to go through there, but there isn't enough room, as usual, because some idiot sized the intercooler far too wide. So now we're just kind of working around my mistakes with the sizing of the intercooler. So we've got this little gap to get through here, which is a lot smaller than it looks. Like you can see, that's not very big at all. So we've got to kind of bend this off this way. Then we'll have a silicone coupler like over here coming out of the pipe. So yeah, we're going to make that. But first, we need to put the front bumper on and see just how little space we've actually got. So with the front bumper on, you can see we've got very little room. In fact, we're actually hitting the intercooler, which I kind of expected. So we're going to do what we usually do and just cut stuff out that gets in the way. Right, I've made a few marks where we want to cut stuff where it was hitting the intercooler. So we're just going to go to town with the Dremel and hope for the best. Right, that's all cut out now. I've cut a bit more out the top of here and out the back of here. Just tidied it up a little bit with a file, but it could do with some more tidying up. What I've also noticed though is that these bits that stick out are going to get in the way of the lower end tanks, like down here. So I'm going to cut them off as well. Okay, so those bits are all cut out now. What I'm going to do now though is focus on making this weird contraption that needs to bring the intercooler sort of endpoint outlet, or whatever you want to call it, up to the place where it actually needs to be, which is through this gap. Problem we've got, the end tank, well, the intercooler core ends here. I've just very quickly welded this piece on, which you get some idea where that goes. That is a very small gap to fit a 90-degree 3-inch bend through, either a silicone coupler like that or just a metal bend. It wouldn't fit. So what we're going to do is make something that sort of brings it round there, but the problem we've got is if I place this through here, like ignore the 90-degree bend on the end, but if that was going to go something like that, at its lowest point, that is still too high. See what I mean? So we need to bring the end tank up, but then we also need to bring it across to the right as well, because again, bring it over to the furthest left point, it's hanging off the end there. Now you might wonder why I've not just made this bit wider to accommodate that, but you start hitting the headlight. There's a bit that sticks out of the headlight there. So what we're going to do is make some weird thing here that kind of goes up and off to the right, and then we'll have the tube come out of that. Right, this is what we've got so far. Hopefully you can kind of see what I'm going for now. I've not been filming much because I'm in a real rush today, so I just need to get on with stuff. I'm hoping to get this nearly finished today. But yeah, sorry I haven't got time to film much. Ignore these shitty welds in the middle. They'll be tidied up later. But yeah, these were the ones around the corner, which I'm pretty happy with how neat that turned out. And this bit down here was pretty tidy for the most part. But yeah, you get the idea now. It kind of slopes around and this kind of offsets it, because if it just went straight forward it would hit this. So we need to kind of offset everything over this way, and then we'll just have a flat surface going down there. They'll have a hole cut in that the main sort of pipe will attach to, be welded to. The main thing I'm still slightly concerned about is whether we're going to hit the headlight. You can see like my finger width is not even as wide as my finger really. So yeah, I'm still slightly concerned about that. We're going to have to sort of taper it down this way a bit so we don't hit any of this. But yeah, like I say, I'm in a rush, so I'm going to have to just crack on and I'll show you the end result. Right, this is what we've ended up with. I know it looks weird, I know it's not normal, but just remember the problems that we have that we're trying to overcome, okay? It needed to be offset to the right and it needed to be higher, and it needed to avoid the headlight. And even with all this weirdness, and I know some of the welding's pretty shit as well, but even with all this weirdness, we've still only managed to clear the headlight by about 2 mil, like right at the back there. So yeah, it couldn't have just, like the obvious sort of shape, it wouldn't work because the headlight sticks even further out here than it does back there. So it's turned out okay, like making all these little panels went a lot worse than I was expecting. So there was a few gaps that I had to weld around, which is why there's loads of big splodges of weld everywhere, because I'm just having to shove loads of rod in to kind of cover the gaps up. There's a few bits that I might go over just to make sure they don't leak. We're going to pressure test it all anyway when it's when the other end tanks are done. Oh, one thing I need to mention as well is that Carl came yesterday again. Good old Carl. He's helped me loads with this. Spent another full day here helping me. We didn't film anything, but we did make all the intake tubing. Like, it's not done. Like we've just tacked stuff in place, but we got it all in place on both sides. But we had to use the same tubes for this side, so because I ran out of pipe. So ordered some more 45-degree bends, which is what we ran out of, but we do know where it's all going to go. Also, we did the pipes that are going to go from, see down here, from the air filter that's going to be somewhere around here to the turbo. We did all that as well. But I'll go through that, like, because there's some really tight like routing and stuff that we've had to do. I'll go through that in the next video, which is when we're going to do the bottom end tanks as well, because this has already dragged on long enough. I've just realised that it's Christmas in like 3 days, so yeah, probably won't get a video out next week because we'll be busy seeing family and stuff, but yeah, it won't be much longer than normal, although this one took ages because of all the problems with the torch and stuff. Feels like we've not got a lot done, like literally just made that box basically in like a week and a half or something since the last video. But there's been a lot of other stuff that's kind of been planned out to do with the oil system and the scavenger pump and stuff like that, and like I say, we've got all the intake piping properly sorted now, just need to weld it up. So yeah, we are making progress, even though it doesn't really feel like it. But yeah, next week, or well, after Christmas, we'll do the bottom end tanks and do all the intake piping. So yeah, we'll see you there.